What's up, guys? We're working on a 2013 Ford F-150 all-wheel drive. Taking off the trans, and you're gonna need 12s for these, for the drive shafts, 13s for the exhaust, 15s and 18s on the other side for the center membrane, 15s up here for this. You need to take this off. E14s right there. I usually take off the O2 sensors when I take this off, and the exhaust from here back. You need 13s for the alternator or the starter, and 13s for all around the transmission. 10s for these as well for the front drive shaft. I'll take that off, and we're gonna get started on this. Drive shaft is out. Next, forgot to mention on these things there's 10s attached to that center bar that's here. I took the center bar off. Also, there's 18s down attached to this thing. Next, I'm taking off the manifold, the exhaust from the manifold back. Taking off as well the O2 sensors, just leave them hanging up there. Okay, so I got the exhaust out. Ended up leaving the O2 sensors on it, just disconnected them. They had some universals on it, so fucking took off the transfer case. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bolts. They look like this. And now we're on to the transmission. Take off the shifter cable, trans lines, your connector, and the starter. So now we took off the trans line. I left it on so it wouldn't spill, but it's loose. Took off the shifter cable up here. I've tucked it up there behind the fuel lines. It's off of here. And I took off that connector. This connector just sits like this. You just gotta spin it off like that. Before you start taking off your bolts for your transmission, you need to take off this little cover that comes on the transfer case. On the transfer case, on the bell house. And up here, there are some bolts. You have to take off those for your torque converter. And I usually put a 1/2 inch up there. That socket's at 18. Always turn clockwise, never counterclockwise. Take them off one by one. I believe there's 4 on this one. Once those 4 are out, you start with the transmission bolts, and the transmission will be out. This one's already loose, the starter. I just have it sitting there so it won't get in my way. And yeah, that's what we're on. Next day here. So like I said, got off all those torque converter bolts. Set up a little ratchet right there. You get to turn in the engine. They're all out. There's 4 of them. This is what the nuts look like. 4 of those. Now we got the trans jack set up, ready to take off this train. So I took off all the bolts for the transmission. There's 2 up there, there's 3 on this side, and there's 2 on the other side. Before I have to take it down, you gotta make sure you take off the torque converter bolt off, and this thing is underneath the trans, so to take it off, you just pry on it. I didn't take it off earlier because I didn't want all that spillage, but as you see, you just pry it and it pops right off. Getting ready to pull it down and show you how it looks once it's down. So this is what it looks like with it off. Here's the transmission. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts on this one. And then those blue marks are for your torque converter. The ones on this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 4 up there. Alright. That's for your front diff. That's your engine flywheel right there. I am gonna end up changing the starter because it didn't start. And there you go. That's how you take off transmission on the F-150. Thank you. Like, subscribe.